Hey, you're afraid of what? No, fucking guy. This fucking guy, mate. Fucking bloody wanker. I think everything is looking good so far, man. There's that. Can you hear? Dude, this fucking audio's stupid. We're getting so close to the partnership and Lexi, you know, I'm stoked. No, I can't. That part's really good. Ooh.
That is hooked on a strong opioid painkiller called tapentadol. Marco lives in Berlin, Germany. He's 23 years old. A few years ago, he bought a special printer that lets him create a very specific type of document. Prescriptions for a drug called tramadol. Today, he's taking one to a pharmacy for the last time. In Zico's hometown of Lomé, Togo, tramadol is known as the poor man's cocaine. He pops one and hops in his moto taxi to start his shift. An invisible thread runs through these people's stories. It leads back to an industrial town in Germany near the Dutch
show the real person.
Stolberg. One of the world's leading painkiller manufacturers is based here. It's called Grunenthal. And the global pharma giant has a controversial past. One of Grunenthal's key products is the opioid tramadol. Some experts warn that it's too loosely regulated, that it seems to be acting as a gateway drug. Meanwhile, in European countries like Germany, concern is growing over young people misusing prescription
I'm gonna get a new
meds.
mic soon.
Some experts see signs of an emerging opioid crisis. In parts of Africa, tramadol has already fueled a crisis of its own. And a little over a decade ago, Grunenthal started pushing a new and even stronger opioid onto the global market, tapentadol. Doctors have allegedly been actively encouraged to prescribe it. Potential risks may have been downplayed, and regulatory oversight may have fallen.
So games slop games, like the RV type game.
Short. Some have compared Grunenthal's methods to those of an American pharmaceutical company, Purdue Pharma.
Oh yeah, I mean when we played the midnight game, it worked.
And their opioid?
Oxycontin.
Are we looking at a new opioid crisis? One made in Germany?
Together, we strive to make it possible.
Tramadol is highly abused in many African countries.
A world free of pain.
De tous vont prendre ça. C'est le truc même qui va te contrôler et ça va te créer des problèmes.
You might think here are the clean guys and here are the bad guys, but it's just a different way of influencing.
Da merkt man einfach wieder mal, dass die Pharmaindustrie, da geht's rein um Geld.
The head of the working group was actually a professor whose whole professorship was sponsored.
A través del tratamiento de una novedosa molécula que se llama tapentadol.
All opioids have the potential to get people dependent.
Unsere Söhne sollen nicht umsonst gestorben sein. Das ist es.
We've come to Vienna to continue to sound the alarm. To
I'm
sound
sure I'll
the
play
alarm
after
around
this.
the dangers of synthetic drugs.
It's the 67th session of the CND, the United
I
Nations
should
Commission
wait
on
and get
Narcotic
some water
Drugs.
before I eat from
For just over
game.
a week, Delegates, member state representatives, NGOs, and experts gather in Vienna to discuss global drug policy.
Agencies, Health and Human Services, Homeland Security, Justice, drug policy, drug enforcement. Everyone is here.
Among them is Maria Christoph, an investigative journalist. She worked with reporters from 10 countries on a large-scale investigation into opioid abuse, led by the examination. The team first looked at American company Purdue Pharma.
It's considered to be one reason for the opioid crisis over there.
OxyContin
killed more than 450,000 Americans.
Damn.
Purdue's flagship product was the opioid painkiller OxyContin, which was intended to treat severe pain. The company claimed the drug wasn't addictive, that it was unlikely to cause withdrawal symptoms, and that it had low abuse potential. And from the late 90s onward, OxyContin was widely prescribed for all kinds of pain, from chronic conditions to minor back pain and even toothaches. Purdue's claims turned out to be false, and millions of patients got addicted to opioids. Consequently, over the last 24 years, more than 800,000 people have
I'm
died
waiting for a
from
new Call of
overdoses
Duty and
of
2K
opioids,
low
both
key
legal
before
and
GTA
illegal.
6 comes out.
The U.S. opioid crisis is still raging
The
today.
new Call of Duty looks
Every
good.
year, tens of thousands
Hopefully
still die
2K
from synthetic street
get more
opioids like
gameplay on that.
fentanyl. But at the UN conference, Maria keeps hearing the same thing. Purdue and OxyContin are old news. Instead, people at the CND toss around other names, tramadol and tapentadol. Maria's intrigued. Both products were originally developed by a German firm, Grunenthal. Like Purdue Pharma, Grunenthal is a family business. And from what Maria hears, that's not all they have in common.
What some experts actually told us is, you might think here are the clean guys,
Well,
Grunenthal, and here are the
duh.
bad
I don't
guys,
think
Purdue
anybody's gonna
Pharma.
be getting off
But
that
it's just
shit.
a different way of working, of influencing. In some way, it's a similar playbook, even though it's not as straightforward.
Bradley Ford lives in Victoria, Australia with his wife Linda Matthews. From 2016 to 2018, he was addicted to oxycodone.
You can look at the gameplay. They took some shit out.
For the past year, he's managed to stay off opioids.
Or we gonna look at it
But
together.
now he's suffering from chronic headaches. His doctor
Not right now, but I'll have.
to 2018, he was addicted to oxycodone. The doctor prescribed a new opioid painkiller. For the past year, he's
Haha.
Palexia. That's Grunenthal's tapentadol-based painkiller. Here in Australia, it's licensed to and sold by another company. The packaging
more
warns
Nicky or
that Brad might
Homelander.
face a higher risk of addiction due to his history
Oh
of
yeah,
prescription
no more
drugs.
stupid skins,
But he
basically.
trusts his doctor. Linda, on the other hand, is worried. A year later, Linda gives birth to triplets. Brad is still taking tapentadol, and the pills leave him drowsy, barely able to help with the kids. And whenever he goes into withdrawal, this otherwise peaceful man becomes irritable and aggressive. Today, things have gone completely out of control. When he misses the triplets' first Christmas, Linda has had enough. Brad needs to move out. 5 months later,
Damn.
he's found dead. The cause is an overdose of tapentadol and oxycodone.
That's
Opioids work
crazy.
differently than the painkillers many of us have at home. Drugs like ibuprofen, aspirin, and
They put
paracetamol can
beats
help
to it
relieve a
and
headache
shit,
or
like-
ease your pain. Opioids do that too, but they can also prompt your body to release endorphins.
Can you hear the audio when
These
you
are chemical
type?
messengers
Sometimes
produced
it'll
by the body itself.
pop your
They
audio.
reduce the
up.
perception of pain and increase feelings of well-being. Our bodies release them when we laugh, exercise, or have sex. They also influence our body temperature, hormone levels, and appetite. But one of their main functions is as natural pain relievers. Imagine you fall off your bike and hurt your knee. In response, your body releases endorphins. They attach themselves to opioid receptors located along pain-processing nerve pathways in the brain and spinal cord.
Yeah,
By doing
I think
they
they're
inhibit the
changing it up this
transmission of
year.
pain signals to the brain. so while the injury's still there, the pain becomes bearable. For many types of injury, the body simply can't produce enough natural pain relievers. But thousands of years ago, humans discovered a natural substance that attaches to the very same pain receptors: opium. The word opium comes from Greek. It means juice, referencing the milky sap of the poppy, which the drug is extracted from. Some sources say the Greek physician Hippocrates mentioned it as early as 400 BC. Others indicate that opium was used for medical purposes much earlier, in ancient Egypt. Centuries later, opium became deeply embedded in Roman medicine. In some parts of the empire, there were hundreds of opium pharmacies. Several Roman emperors appear to have been addicted to the stuff. A little later, Chinese surgeons also used
Can you hear the
opium
notification,
primarily as
John?
an anesthetic. The earliest known evidence of opium use was found in the Levant region. These ceramic vessels were probably used to store opium poppies.
That's crazy though.
Roughly 3,400 years later, in the German town of Paderborn, a pharmacist named Friedrich Seeturner is experimenting with opium poppies. Eventually, Seeturner isolates a substance that can be dosed far more precisely than raw opium juice: morphium. Today, it's called morphine. His discovery lays
I gotta
the
make it where you
foundation
can
for
hear
modern
like the
pain therapy.
noises.
Morphine
But yeah,
is
sometimes
opioid
it'll
because
pop
it's
up and
derived
sometimes it wouldn't do it
directly
all
from
the time.
latex of the opium poppy, whereas the term opioid refers
I don't
to
know why.
all substances that act on opioid receptors, including partially or fully synthetic drugs. To this day, morphine remains the benchmark used to measure how effectively other opioids suppress pain.
I don't know why I
Tramadol
can't
and
hear the
Tilidine
points
are only
though.
10 to 17% as
Where it
potent.
gives the points, yeah.
Purdue's OxyContin is roughly twice as effective as morphine. And fentanyl is 70 to 100 times stronger. That's why it's so dangerous. One of the strongest opioids currently approved for medical use on humans is sufentanil. It's up to 1,000 times more potent than morphine. By the late 19th century, Germany is a leading center for chemical and pharmaceutical innovation.
Yeah.
Manufacturers
feel
like
the
Stada
pain.
and Bayer lead the way. At the time, many people in Europe and the US are addicted to morphine. In 1898, Bayer launches one of the first commercially available opioids. Bayer claims it's less addictive than morphine and much safer. It's marketed as a harmless analgesic for pains and coughs, and in Germany, it's sold over the counter. The new drug is such a hit. You may have heard of it today. It's called heroin. It and other opioids soon become
Oh,
widespread
yeah.
recreational drugs. But as the 20th century rolls on, countless new laws regulate the use of opioids. Many of the drugs are now available only in hospitals and pharmacies. And there's a good reason for this. People who become addicted to opioids eventually build up a tolerance. So to keep feeling the same effects, they need to up their dose or consume stronger opioids, which leads to a higher risk of overdose. When someone ODs, their breathing can slow dramatically, making the supply of oxygen to the brain insufficient. This can lead to unconsciousness, coma, or even cardiac arrest, which often causes permanent brain damage. Mixing opioids with alcohol or other drugs further increases the risk. The worst-case scenario is sudden death.
That's
For
crazy
many
though.
big pharmaceutical companies, the past few decades have been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
For years, Purdue Pharma pushed its opioids through aggressive marketing and lobbying. In 2020, the company agreed to a settlement potentially worth $8.3 billion for its role in fueling America's opioid crisis. The year before, the company had already filed for bankruptcy. Since then, many pharmaceutical companies have come to consider the opioid business too risky. In 2021, pharma giant Johnson & Johnson stopped selling opioids in the US entirely. And as part of bankruptcy proceedings in 2024, Endo Health Solutions agreed to drastically scale back its marketing and selling of opioids. The withdrawal of Purdue Pharma and other big pharmaceutical companies left a vacuum, and that may have benefited the companies that continued betting on opioids. One of these players is Grunenthal.
Together, we strive to make it possible.
From
Our
who?
vision, a world free of pain.
Compared to most German pharmaceutical giants, Grunenthal is still
Does
a
my camera look
relatively
better
young
there?
company, but it has a remarkably controversial
Johnson
history.
Johnson? That's a
Germany,
medic place?
1946, a year after the end of World War II. In the court of Nuremberg, high-ranking Nazis are on trial for their horrible crimes. Outside, the country is in ruins. People clear rubble with their bare hands. Many are physically and emotionally scarred. In West Germany, the entrepreneurial Wirtz family believes it knows what the broken country needs now: medicine. So far, the family business has mainly produced detergent. But in 1946, they found Chemie Grunenthal GmbH. It becomes the first company to bring penicillin to the German market. The young pharmaceutical firm recruits a large number of scientists. Dr. Heinrich Muchte becomes the new head of research. He's accused of conducting brutal and even lethal experiments on concentration camp prisoners during the Nazi era. But after the war, he apparently avoided being tried in Poland by fleeing west. He was never formally convicted. Heinz Baumkutter was a physician at Sachsenhausen concentration camp. He's believed to have conducted experiments on prisoners, including children. He was accused of injecting inmates with hepatitis pathogens and burning their skin with phosphorus. After the war, he was sentenced to 8 years in prison, but he had already spent time in pretrial detention and in a Soviet prison, so he's released early and ends up working for Grunenthal. But the company's most famous ex-Nazi is probably Otto Ambros, a chemical weapons expert widely thought to have been one of the leaders of the Monowitz concentration camp. After the war, he was sentenced to 8 years in prison, but 3 years later he was released early for good behavior and appointed to the boards of several companies. In 1972, he became an advisor to Grunenthal. Reports suggest that after the war, the company employed at least 5 high-ranking former Nazis.
That's crazy.
Grunenthal confirms that it employed researchers who had held positions of power within the Nazi Party, but it claims this was common practice in Germany during the post-war years. Today, Grunenthal strongly condemns the Nazis' crimes and says it's committed to a free, diverse, and tolerant society. In the early 1960s, the family business ends up making global headlines, not for the war criminals working in its labs, but for what is still widely considered the biggest pharmaceutical scandal in European history. In 1957, Grunenthal introduces Contergan, a tranquilizer and sleeping pill. Active ingredient, thalidomide. Doctors explicitly prescribe it to pregnant women, and many take it for morning sickness or as a sleep aid. The medication is sold under different names in nearly 50 countries. But then babies begin to be born with severe birth defects, including stunted or missing limbs. Today, we know this was caused by thalidomide interfering with fetal development during the early stages of pregnancy.
That's fun.
Around 12,000 of these thalidomide babies were documented. At least a third died before their first birthday. The most common causes of death were bowel, cardiac, or renal failure. After 4 years on the market, Contergan is withdrawn. To this day, many of the survivors struggle with severe disabilities. In 2021, the Wirtz family publicly apologizes to those affected. The thalidomide tragedy is part of their corporate history, and they deeply regret the far-reaching consequences. The company told us it has a special moral responsibility in relation to the tragedy. It emphasized that its foundation, which funds projects that contribute to more independent lives for those affected, is an effort to support these individuals and their families. Back in the 1970s, the scandal almost completely ruined the young company's reputation. People around the world associated it with the thalidomide disaster. But in 1977, Grunenthal introduced a new drug to the German market, Tramol, with the active substance tramadol. It was the result of at least 15 years of research. Chemist Kurt Flick first synthesized it back in 1962. According to documents from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Grunenthal applied for a patent just a few years later. Developing a new drug takes resources, including huge amounts of time and money. Many compounds are abandoned long before market approval. Some never make it out of the research phase. That makes patent protection extremely important. Only the patent holder can profit from distributing a drug's active ingredient. That allows them to recoup the massive investment R&D requires. And according to Grunenthal, after its launch in 1977, tramadol became one of the world's most frequently prescribed analgesics. At the time, it's considered a weak opioid. Today, we know that simply wasn't true.
Ja, hallo, ich bin Tanja Nicole Albuscheid. Mein Sohn ist vor 3,5 Jahren an einer Überdosierung Tramadol gestorben.
It's 2019. Marco is 20 years old. He likes going for walks in the woods and hanging out with his friends.
It's fucked up.
Now and then he smokes weed.
Cure.
And he's just started experimenting with something new. The stronger the medication, the harder it is to get.
Was a thing.
In Germany, you can buy nasal sprays
or
or
they stopped producing it
or supermarkets. But prescription
so they
drugs
can
are only
sell it?
available at pharmacies. Marco somehow gets a hold of blank prescription forms, and he buys himself a new printer. With it, he starts doing something usually reserved for medical staff:
That's stupid.
printing prescriptions for meds, like the anesthetic ketamine and the analgesic tramadol. We won't explain exactly how. We also strongly advise against taking medication without medical supervision or a real prescription. Marco's forged prescription is ready. He just needs to take it to a pharmacy. May 2022. Marco's been taking tramadol regularly for 3 years now. He's addicted to it.
I don't like the way
His
that
grandmother
looks.
watches him enter his apartment. He doesn't seem well. His mother texts him, but her messages only get a single check mark. This happens frequently, so she doesn't think much about it. Maybe he's on something again and wants to be left alone. But 3 days pass without a word, so she drives to his apartment. She rings the doorbell over and over, but her son doesn't answer. So she calls the police. According to her, even after she tells them about Marco's history with alcohol and prescription drugs, they refuse to force the door open.
That's so stupid.
After another 3 days pass, the police return. By this time, a foul smell is coming from the apartment.
Das war der 3.6., wo mir das dann, ja.
Marco was just 23 years old. According to the autopsy report, he may have developed a tolerance to tramadol. There's enough of the drug in his blood to cause a coma or death. There's also alcohol,
Bro's
small amounts of
taking that shit.
paracetamol, and traces of the antipsychotic medication promethazine. All these findings point to a combined drug intoxication with tramadol. Unfortunately, Marco's story is far from unique. Society often debates the abuse of traditional drugs like alcohol, cocaine, amphetamines, and weed. But despite being a long-standing problem, the abuse of prescription medication is often overlooked. Depending on the source, between 1.5 and 2 million people in Germany are addicted to prescription drugs. That's about as
That's
many
still
as
a
are
lot of
addicted to
people.
alcohol,
That's kind of crazy though.
possibly more. In the US, 7.6 million people are addicted to prescription drugs, and teenagers and young adults in particular are experimenting with them more and more often. Many young users don't know how dangerous these substances can be. Maria Christoph tells us tramadol and tilidine are increasingly becoming gateway drugs. In 2023, 8 out of every 100 drug-related deaths in Germany involved opioid painkillers. Among
No.
14 to 20-year-olds, it
That's
was
you
1
being
in 3.
sarcastic.
In England and Wales,
But-
opiates were even involved in a staggering 47% of all drug poisoning deaths. And the 2025 UN World Drug Report shows that opioids are by far the most involved substances in all drug-related mortality cases. The data were provided by 66 countries around the world. Apparently, prescription opioids are relatively easy to come by. Some order them via Telegram chats or darknet groups. Others simply snatch them from their grandparents' medicine cabinets. Some, like Marco, find ways to forge their own prescriptions. If opioids like tapentadol and tramadol are so dangerous, then why aren't they more strictly regulated?
Punks.
Time to look more closely at how big pharma companies operate. Medical opioids are still urgently needed. Every day,
What the
hospitals
fuck?
around the world
They should
rely
have played
on them,
twice up in
especially
that
for the
bitch,
treatment of
bro.
severe pain and diseases like cancer. This tremendous need supports a global pharmaceutical
That's
industry,
nonsense.
and Grunenthal has long been a major player in it. Since tramadol's patent expired in the late 90s, countless manufacturers have been
Oh,
flooding the
yeah,
market with
other than
generic
that.
versions. A generic drug has the
Okay,
same
I
active
mean-
ingredient as its brand name counterpart, and it works the exact same way too, even if the name is different. With increased competition, prices dropped.
Tapentadol is the new best-selling drug that came after tramadol became a generic.
In 2010, Grunenthal introduces its new flagship drug in Germany. In the US, the FDA has already approved tapentadol back in 2008. Today, tramadol and tapentadol-based painkillers rank among the most prescribed opioids in many parts of the world. And Grunenthal seems willing to go
The
to great
weed.
lengths to protect its original brand name products. To understand how, we have to start in their home market, Germany. Before that, though, a crucial skill in this story is
Cookie
knowing how to
too.
interpret
I mean,
data. If you don't know how, it's a
I don't
valuable
know.
skill to have. Learning's changing subscription at brilliant.org/fern. Our search leads us to
Sniped.
Germany's medical regulatory agency, the Federal Institute for Drugs and Medical Devices. Among other things, it's responsible
Hey,
for classifying medications as narcotics. A special
Hey, bro, you
subdivision
wanna
of the
watch
Federal
it?
Opiate Agency regulates access to opioids like tramadol. We emailed them to ask the head of the agency for an interview.
Bro.
They replied just a few hours later. Thank you for your inquiry. Unfortunately, due to limited resources, we are unable to offer you an interview. This was still several months before production for this video began, so we gave them a call and ended up speaking to the Institute's press officer. We introduced ourselves and requested a short call with the head of the opium agency. It's a hard no. We talked for 15 minutes, but the answer remains the same. Questions will only be answered in writing. Maria Christoph and her colleagues at the examination point us
His
towards
wires like
suspicious
touching my
events
arm.
in 2010.
That's
that
kind of
might
bothering
explain
me.
their silence. May 2010. Tramadol has been in the international market for about 30 years. Its patent expired a long time ago, so many manufacturers now produce it as a generic drug. The Federal Institute for Drugs and Medical Devices has its headquarters here, Bonn, the former capital of West Germany. The Institute's Expert Committee on Narcotics is meeting today. On the agenda is tramadol. The committee plans to regulate it more strictly. If they classify it as a narcotic, doctors will need a special tamper-proof form to prescribe it, a form that's much harder for people like Marco to fake. But the committee postpones any decisions. Then Grunenthal steps in. It sends a letter to the head of the Federal Opium Agency. It says it was surprised
There's
to
nothing
see
we can really
tramadol
do
on the
about it
agenda.
unless we
It
like,
strongly
you know,
advises against more restrictive measures.
honestly, I don't know.
Regulating the drug more tightly in Germany could send the rest of the world a fatal signal.
Revolt.
The committee decides to take a closer look. 8 of the committee's 12 members form a dedicated working group. Its job is to look at scientific studies and data to evaluate factors like side effects and the drug's potential addictiveness. Eventually, it'll make a recommendation on whether or not tramadol should be more strictly regulated. Looking at the list of names
but
in
you're
the
gonna be
working
like
group,
30
Maria
or some
Christoph
shit,
can
don't
hardly
you?
believe her eyes.
So we
Oh,
looked
yeah.
at the names of the people who were part of this working group,
35,
and
40, I don't know
what
how
we
you
found
get 32.
is that big amount of people
Maybe a
were
certain
actually quite
age.
close to the company. Which was most surprising to me actually was that the head of the working group on
35.
tramadol was actually a professor whose whole professorship was sponsored by the company Grunenthal.
Alright, bro, we're gonna take a little break.
Out of absolutely nowhere, we just got over 2 minutes of brand new Modern Warfare 4 multiplayer gameplay footage and a surprise showcase of tons of weapon game.
What do you mean? Is it my screen or is it your screen? It's going back to dash for a split second. What's dash? Like this? Wait. I do not see it on my side.
Gameplay, including the new weapon behavior systems, including the removal of bloom, depth of field, and even gameplay of the new Apex attachments. So let's look at the footage, break it down, give you my thoughts and opinions from someone who got to play the multiplayer, and obviously get your thoughts in the comments below. So the footage begins showing 2 different recoil patterns on weapons. One is an LMG being shot at a wall, which also showcases some of the new muzzle changes that we'll be diving into in a moment. But then the second shot also shows the pistol, where it is literally shooting the bullets exactly where the player is aiming, giving you a little bit of a preview of the new no bloom feature, which is going to fundamentally change gunplay within Modern Warfare 4. You then get to see some side-on views of an AR as well as an LMG, and then some new gameplay of someone using a shotgun, and then someone using an assault rifle running across the same Korean map that we got to see gameplay of a few weeks ago. Then get to see a few inspect animations, which is really cool, starting with this pistol. And we also learn that some of the developers actually try and mimic these in real life so that they can be as lifelike as possible in the game. We get to see it as well with an M4 assault rifle, which looks really nice. We then get a really interesting showcase which shows the visual effects of the masking of muzzle flash, which shows what the muzzle flash looked like before, where in MW2 this muzzle flash was just obnoxious. It was all over the screen and it would actually cover the visuals of your target, so it would make them a lot harder to see. But now in MW4
I want to see gameplay, bro.
they've created this sort of like cone that goes around an enemy when you're aiming on them. So the muzzle smoke will actually go around the cone and never actually visually block what you're aiming down sight at, which is a very good change. And it has been described on the reveal of the game, but now we actually get to visually see it for our own eyes. Love to know your thoughts in the comments about this one. But Then they show a really interesting demo, which pretty much calls
not
themselves
sure.
out for showing the bloom that was in MW2, where you can see the moment that the M4 is fired, there is just so much obnoxious smoke and muzzle flash, but also the fact that the gun is kicking like absolutely crazy and that the bullets are just ending up in random directions. It's never quite clear where your bullets are going to aim. And so in MW4, they've completely removed shot with hip fire every single. You can see from the laser where the bullets are going, and they are hitting the target precisely every single time. So the hip fire gunplay might be a little bit similar to that of Counter-Strike. I didn't quite get enough hands-on to be able to confirm that, but that's how it looks from the gameplay.
Yeah,
then we get to see the
it.
same again with the Magnum pistol, where it is pinpoint accurate to where the laser is firing, and even when it's shooting multiple times, you can see that it is always hitting the target fairly accurately. They then move on to talking about depth of field, which again was something that we were shown when we got to see the game early at the studio, but with depth of field, it sort of blurs the gun so that you can more focus on what's in front of you and give a more cinematic feel, because in real life, depth of field is actually used. But they noticed that people turn this setting off because when they ADS, it also blurs the actual target they're looking at, as well as their actual sight as well. So they then show this before and after to show what they've changed, where now the actual iron sight of the weapon is also blurred with the gun, so that the actual target itself is never out of focus, nor is it ever blocked by your iron sight.
Who knows,
how big
bro?
of a change this is going to make, and if people will still keep the depth of field effect on, or gameplay on this snowy rooftop map that showcases the tactical sprint and what happens as the player slowly runs out of it, where the new updated tactical sprint will have your character in tac sprint, but the more they sprint, the more tired they get, and the slower they get until their gun is brought back down, rather than being constantly held in that position until you just
Huh? No. No, sadly.
randomly stop tac sprinting. I think visually the game also looks really, really impressive from what we're seeing here. And in this next shot, we see this absolutely beefy sniper rifle, which I can tell you firsthand has a pretty slow ADS, but it's also to showcase the behavior of guns as you're going around corners, where we see two different examples of the gun sort of slanting its angle as it goes over a corner. As you approach other corners, you see here with the M4 that the gun does tilt a little bit like what we see in Rainbow Six Siege, which should help you to be a little bit more accurate, but also has a bit more of a tactical gameplay experience.
They did
Let
collab
me know
though,
what you think
didn't
about
they?
this one in the comments down below. We then get to see a more extended look at
They
an
better not have
LMG
no left
firing
right
at a
cheese
wall,
on
but
that
you can
shit.
see that even with the recoil patterns, due to the no bloom, the bullet spread isn't as crazy as what you would
What if 2K27 is gonna be whatever it's gonna be in GTA 6?
first assume. Then we get a really cool gameplay clip of someone getting killed with a shotgun. Then they swap to their pistol extremely quickly, where you can have the shotgun in the left, pistol in the right, before swapping back to the shotgun and taking someone out.
I love 22.
Then we get to see
21,
footage of
everybody
a player
hated.
with a sniper rifle quickly sliding, and then while still in the slide being able to ADS and quick scope a player, which I think is really cool, and does show that they really have changed the movement to be a lot less sluggish than in previous Infinity Ward games. And then we get a really cool look at some Apex attachment gameplay. Now, we've already seen some of this before, but we get to see quite a lot of extended footage that we hadn't seen before, where with this weapon specifically, there are multiple throwing knives that you can pull out of the side of the gun, which is really cool. We then get to see an Apex attachment on a Magnum pistol, which turns it into...
You see that? Had throwing knives in their sniper or whatever this is.
Attachment on a Magnum pistol, which turns it into a triple shot weapon with about 4 uses of it before you need to reload. And then we get to see a really cool attachment, which is like a homing missile, where you shoot it out of the side of the weapon, and as long as you ADS, that can control where the missile lands. And for multiplayer, I think that's just going to be really crazy. And then we get to see
That
the
doesn't seem that bad.
PPSH in action, which is absolutely fantastic. And we have this underbarrel, which shoots these explosive grenade. Looks really cool. It is a bit strange to see the PPSH here in a Modern Warfare game, but it
That's gonna
honestly
piss me
feels
off.
really good to use. And then the final shot, we get to see this really cool new version of the heartbeat sensor added as an optic, where it's underneath the actual optic itself, where you can see multiple red dots on the mini-map. We get to see a shot of these akimbo fully auto pistols with a little slide in as well, which looks really cool. And then this final shot of this huge launcher being shot to destroy some barbed wire. We also get a proper look at the
Ooh.
MW4 gunsmith, where we can see that we have separate tabs for the gunsmith, the appearance, and the progression of the weapon, and shows all the attachments with akimbo. There's a brand new multiplayer gameplay that's been shown here.
Okay, back to the video.
And still, they all
Oh,
told
fuck.
us that there were no conflicts of interest with regards to deciding whether
That
tramadol
at least
should
it's not
be
like
more
the
restricted or not.
thermal scope in the
In
last Call
December
of Duty.
2011, the committee presents its final report. It does not recommend regulating tramadol more strictly. It does acknowledge the opioid's general abuse potential, but it sees no indication of an elevated risk of
No.
misuse or addiction. It's even described as less potentially addictive than stronger opioids. The committee unanimously decides that the drug will remain available without a special narcotic prescription. Many journalists, experts, and even politicians see a potential conflict of interest. They question whether people with such close ties to Grunenthal could really form unbiased opinions on how to handle one of the company's most relevant products. 15 years later, there are still doubts about this assessment. Maria Christoph
I bet there's
says
gonna
she
be
and
a
her colleagues
camo
talked to
ground.
experts and looked at more recent
Some
studies.
type of camo
These all
ground and shit.
clearly point to tramadol carrying an elevated risk of addiction. Many users struggling with dependence told them they were hooked almost immediately. The Federal Institute for Drugs and Medical Devices seems to disagree. It tells us it sees no evidence suggesting tramadol's potential for abuse was underestimated. It also claims it wasn't informed of any conflicts of interest that would have disqualified members from joining the working group. Many countries have much
Yeah,
tougher rules.
they had some
The
cool,
UK,
decent
for example,
camos.
classified tramadol as a Schedule III controlled drug back in 2014. Since then, it's been subject to tighter regulation on prescription, storage, and documentation. France also considers tramadol a high-risk opioid due to its potential for abuse, dependence, and overdose. Canada, the US, and Sweden also tightly regulate tramadol.
Yeah, the Germans, so the ministry that is in charge of overlooking tramadol and other opioids, actually says we cannot do this in Germany because this is the country where this drug comes from. If we restrict
Flashbang,
it
bro.
even
Whoa.
more than in other countries, they would have to do the same and follow our lead.
So Grunenthal may have influenced government decisions that could have negatively affected its product. But what's the company doing beyond its home market? How is tramadol's presumably safer successor, tapentadol, being pushed worldwide? Over the years, Grunenthal has increasingly focused on expanding its business in Latin America. Maria Christoph and her colleagues investigated how the company promotes its best-selling painkillers there.
So we also found in our investigation, especially our colleagues in Latin America found that there's a big influence on medical associations and on patient organizations. So the company is actually spending a lot of money, donating a lot of money to these organizations that then again have an influence on governments in certain regions, but also on the way how doctors prescribe this drug.
In many areas around the world, advertising prescription drugs directly to customers is heavily restricted or outright banned, including in parts of Latin America. So the marketing of opioid medications is often aimed exclusively at doctors and pharmacists, that is, at the people who decide whether these drugs get prescribed, and not directly at patients. Maria Christoph and her colleagues found that Grunenthal appears to be following a softer version of the Purdue playbook.
So what Purdue did was very straightforward. They told doctors, okay, our opioid doesn't get people addicted. And there's also another way to do this by sponsoring scientific research, by giving money to patient organizations. So doing it a bit smoother and less obvious, probably, but having a similar influence.
Many pharmaceutical companies fund medical organizations and patient groups. These organizations
I
often
was
represent
cranking my
patients in
hog,
public
would
health
you
debates
watch?
and help
Hey, bro. No, I wouldn't, but I'm also streaming, so.
How the hell is
Huh?
TikTok is not gonna know what that shit means?
shape healthcare policy.
No,
The examination
but
found that over the last decade,
John had heard that.
Grunenthal
He said
paid more than
pressing with
$9
the
million
interruption.
to at least
That's
900
what, yeah.
European patient groups. It reportedly
We're
supported
trying to
similar
learn about
groups in Latin
drugs and
America,
shit.
too. In its response to us, Grunenthal claims these payments were for clearly defined services, and that the
We
company
should learn about
never
NBA
expected to
2K
influence
basketball.
how doctors prescribe medication. But
What,
the
you trying to play
journalists at the
NBA
examination
or
uncovered several
fucking
controversial
2K?
methods. In Mexico,
Hang
a
on.
pain association funded by Grunenthal
No.
reportedly lobbied
Hang on,
Congress
let me
to
get the black
regulations
dude
around
on.
prescribing
Okay.
Pentadol. In its statement to us, the company claims it never financially supported anyone with the goal of weakening prescription rules. In Peru, the head of a similar pain association reportedly promoted tapentadol as less addictive than traditional opioids to a room full of doctors at a pain conference. He allegedly told them the drug could be a source of profit.
Bluetooth off.
Grunenthal says it only learned about the incident through journalists. The company admits to sponsoring the conference, but not the lecturer or the speaker in question.
He already says it. We already do have
also
someone that
funded
says that
Spanish
shit.
language training platforms.
Done.
Both were created
The
by
White Sox
Grunenthal and
still
cater to
suck.
Flashbang.
healthcare professionals like doctors in at least 10 countries. On one, the journalists found this training video.
El día de hoy hablaremos sobre una cápsula muy interesante que compete a todos nosotros, tanto profesionales de la salud como el público en general, y este es el dolor, a través del tratamiento de una novedosa molécula que se llama tapentadol.
The speaker in the video is Silvia Allende Perez, the head of a public pain clinic in Mexico. She doesn't mention that she's also a former
One day left
Grunenthal
of this
employee.
season, guys.
So on the educational website of Grunenthal in Mexico, we found that a doctor was actually promoting the drug tapentadol as less addictive and as a better drug in comparison to other drugs.
In her presentation, Perez promotes tapentadol and its advantages over other opioids. One of the Grunenthal branded slides claims the drug's potential for abuse is minimal. The slide also downplays the risk of the drug causing respiratory depression, that is, breathing slowing down to the point of being life-threatening. It claims there were no reports of respiratory depression. But a 2017 study on tapentadol's post-market development concludes that it's actually a major clinical concern with this type of analgesics. The package information also lists respiratory depression as a known side effect. And yet, in 2024, this training video claiming the contrary
I don't think
remained
he's in my
accessible on a
chat. They're
platform
reading it
created
now.
by Grunenthal.
So we confronted the company with this video, and actually they took it offline because they said that you're right, this material is not what our scientific research and what our knowledge at the moment is supporting, and this is why they took off this material.
Grunenthal's response to us also acknowledges that some of the slide's claims were incorrect. It says it takes incidents like this seriously and has therefore reviewed all remaining content on the training platform. Grunenthal also commissioned additional studies on tapentadol. It's relatively common in the pharmaceutical industry
what he
for companies
says
to fund
this
studies on their own drugs. Before
You know what I
study
told
or
Demi?
article is published in medical journals, it's
If he gets on, I'll slurp it all up.
usually subject to peer review, meaning independent experts review it anonymously. This process
Or
is
made
meant
me
to ensure
pause
quality
my
and
whole
credibility.
video just to
What?
hear that. Made me pause my video just for you to say that.
And physicians and
Yeah, dude,
pharmacists
I'll
often
slurp
rely
your
heavily on these
dick.
publications.
Yes!
But even peer
Not
Fuck
fucking
review
yes,
shit
dude.
reviews.
automatically
Oh
guarantees
my
full
gosh, I got the
independence.
best thing from the
Take this
fucking
article on
wheel.
tapentadol published in the journal CNS Drugs in 2014. At the time, Grunenthal
Holy
employees.
shit, I got the best thing
The
from the
paper
wheel
claims
ever.
that the reduced dependence seen with tapentadol might be due to the fact that the drug acts on two separate bodily systems.
Got a
that
million
affect pain.
VC.
Maria Christoph tells us she and her colleagues showed these studies and articles to experts. Each said they couldn't
I
find
mean, at least
any
it's worth a
evidence
million
support
VC
these
to me.
claims.
It's Tyrese Maxi banner.
Yet other scientific publications have cited them, which appears to provide additional validation.
Okay.
According to the examination,
Here, you see
Grunenthal
my banner,
relied-
John? I got this one from this wheel. Stephen Curry. It's him with the rings. See it? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Dogs are bums.
studies results to train its sales representatives to promote the drug.
John, just ignore
In the
him.
United States,
That's
Grunenthal
the best
initially
thing you could
licensed
do.
the marketing rights for tapentadol to Johnson & Johnson.
They're in Boston right now,
2012,
getting their
J&J
ass
was
whooped.
already collaborating with researchers to examine whether the drug's dual mechanism might
John
reduce
is just a
risk of
rage
causing
bait.
addiction. In an email to a
I'm a Red
colleague,
Sox
one
fan,
of
so I'm
these
talking
researchers
shit
wrote,
anyway.
I don't know of any evidence to support that, but I can live with the people at J&J believing this to be true. To which their colleague replied, I don't believe you
Murakaka.
either.
Murakami.
Grunenthal declined to comment on this email
We suck
exchange.
away. Wait till we back
However,
home.
the company admits there isn't sufficient evidence to support
He said
the
what?
claim that
He
tapentadol's dual
said
mechanism
we
reduces
suck
its
away.
abuse
Wait till we back home. Bro, John, I'm not even paying attention to this video. I'll finish it later. Oh, hold on. He didn't hear what you said because my audio sucks. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Vape, you vape. For vapes. But oh, bro, vapes, bro. This is not even funny. Maybe if you vape less, you know. Hold on, John. I'm trying to fix it. Sometimes I don't know why my audio just cut out like when I switched. That shit about to make me crash out. Yep, he still didn't hear you because my audio is not working. I will not say that because you will. Don't know what that means, but give me a second. But stop saying I'm not gonna say what you're saying, bro. Bro, where the fuck did that go?
Alright.
That's not it. Bro, what is this? Dude, that's capturing my Xbox. This is saying Twitch. Okay. This just says Xbox, bro. What the fuck? George Discord. Alright, you can say shit now. It's working.
I already sent him a message. He's gonna get a taste of what I want to say.
I'm gonna reset my headset real quick. Okay, hello.
Hello?
There we go. That's why it's not working, John. John, try using the first points that pop up. I sent you a message on Xbox. It's funny. Oh. Bro, why do you cough so loud? That shit like hurts my ears.
Why are your ears so bitch made?
Let me turn you down to 80. John trying to play music and Bro's autistic sounds scare him. Quite. Great. Did no points work, John? Use the one with the fish. Minutes. I heard it. Alright, bro. It's not even. Bro, it's not even playing. It's just plain stupid. FBI, open up! Bro, I'm ready whenever you are.
Wow, I've been waiting for you to start. Son.
I'm trying to learn how to do the noises. We were close. Yeah, no, that's a lot of points there, man.
We lost.
I'm lagging. If I wasn't lagging, I would have got that. Bro, I'm lagging.
What the? How's that 26? Am I tweaking?
Bro, I didn't know I was open. Richard into. Dude. Look at that pass though. Hey. Look at that little spin that they caught the wall. I don't know why. Not downloading anything. When I stop playing guard, I stop lagging. What do you mean a pet? That's not even my fault, dude.
I jumped in there.
Yeah, I'm just lagging. Look at that steal. I'm reaching in, bro.
Yeah, I keep getting a little bit of lag. We might actually restart the games after this.
Fuck you.
What the? It's not where I passed. I pressed X.
And the foul was crazy. This
What?
was a block. That was like most delayed foul ever. I hit it. You could have grabbed that too. No one was there. Bro, nobody was guarding me whatsoever. I'm still lagging. I can't do shit, bro. That's still a foul. He's just forcing that shit. I might just back out of this game. I can't do shit but lag.
Oh, brother. What?
Don't pass it to me.
Mind bounding.
I refreshed my game. I'm still in the game.
Have AI.
Look, oh my god, bro. I literally can't play without, I'm just lagging. I'm lagging, bro.
What?
Oh, that would have been a dot. No, well wagging.
You recorded it?
This is second out of his 5 shots he hit for his threes. I'll be like, I'm lagging this whole game, bro.
You have 3 rebounds.
Why are we switching on that, bro? It does not make sense. Oh, too late. My guy's open.
I do.
That bro's just forcing shit.
But he does not want to hit me while he's an AI on me.
Bro really got that high. I'm open on so many sides.
Why rush attempt? Oh, dip. Why am I guarding people?
I can't play, bro. Bro, they need to give me the ball, cause you know we would be up right now. My fucking passes.
Okay, I don't care. Yeah.
So, literally just, I've been lagging this whole game.
I'm letting through, don't worry. Dumbass PG dude. Or Wingard.
Now you look at me. What makes me stop running? Let me see it.
My bad. Oh, that's not rushed. Of course I'm not down there. I pressed A. Come on, RB in your own shit. Three for 8.
Man, that's not my guy. There it is. Alright, bro. Makes no sense. Making me look goofy as fuck out here.
Fucking pick my ass.
Bro, give me the ball. Are you fucking kidding me? It's a 3. dude, he's sitting in the corner, bro. Holy fuck. You still got the last one. Give it to the guy that missed a wide open fucking layup, bro. Look at me, I'm open.
I don't know. Dude.
Got two. It's not my guy, bro. What? No, we need threes. I don't even care. So only got. He only has that many points. I've been lagging the whole game.
Another.
See what I got a double over. I don't care.
What are they even saying game chat?
They're not saying anything.
They're talking.
Not for me.
Oh, yeah, they're talking.
I don't know what you're hearing, but.
I'm restarting my game.
So I had a double.
I'm trying to figure out what receiver I want to take first.
What? I lagged that whole game. Still got a double. What can I say? I'm just that good. But he told me 3 times, bro. I know. happens. It's Cartesian, but not getting on. Make that make sense. If I have this, John, right here, or you think that's like would be like in front of the gameplay? Bruh. Make that make sense, bro. The fuck? Cause I know that you're drunk. Back us up, please. How does that still work? Tell me why it's so hard to say goodbye. I'm not lagging. Do they have a full team? No.
What? You put that up? See a fat ass big man running down.
They're a bit nasty.
What? I wanna know what he's smoking.
I was literally, you know how many steals he could have, and I'm just running into him.
Foul, dude. Golden Beat's hurt.
And 2K might just not be the day. You know how badly they did not want to give me the ball.
Yeah, 2K might not.
Bro, I'm right next to you.
I'm still lagging, dude. I'm fucking stupid. Yep, I'm getting off. It's still fucking delayed. Get off 2K. No, I'm not getting off. Dang.
We really don't got no other game to play. Let's Siege and shit.
I mean, I'll just hang out. You can play whatever.
Cause I know that you're drunk. Is your Wi-Fi just tweaking?
I don't know what's going on.
I can hear it in your mic. I'm playing on my lockdown.
Keep playing.
Huh?
Still playing Rec?
Yeah.
Damn.
Am I starting to lag again? Or it's just 2K. Bro, I'm lagging again.
Here we go. Right here, right here.
I can't even play the game, dude. I'm not about to deal with this shit, bro. Doubles have to X. That lucky to stop the lagging. If this shit gets worse, bro, I'm just gonna switch to something. Sorry, no. So like one more time. We got PUBG.
No.
Fucking weirdo.
Who plays PUBG still?
Me and my boy John.
John plays it still?
Yeah.
Yes, if y'all play it, I'll download it.
Me and John played it the other day. He said he does crack.
I mean, yeah, I believe he does. $46 gigabytes.
That shit only if you don't lag. Like I can hear that shit in your mic every time you talk.
No, I'm not lagging.
Ew, bro. Which one do we play, John? Casuals? Wait, which one? I don't want to play bots, John. Who do you think I am? You think I'm Preston? No. No.
What?
I don't know, is this a regular one? You hear that notification though, right, John? When you type. Your letters are blue, and it's like sometimes it's kind of hard to see. Alright. Say something, John, or type something, John. Alright, you can see it better. Alright, bro. Let me. Alright. Um. Let's go, game. Bro, oh, I was about to say. Your mic, come on. Your mic get me crazy. Is this so bad, John? It looks smooth. I gotta figure out how to make it look smooth on there. Where are we going? Oh. Oh. Did it. Got him. I'm nervous, John. I haven't played this shit by myself in a minute. Where am I going, John? Where are we going? Go land. I did see someone here. Ah, hit him. You think he see where I went? Rotations are crazy. Is bro still over here? If he is, it's weird. Bitch. Bro's camping. You piece of shit. What? Imagine. Blah. time is it? What are they saying? Storm's already moving, bro. I just started moving. Alright. Car noise. Noise. I already killed 2 people, John. They got sniped at. Please don't get sniped, please don't get sniped, please don't get sniped. Right. That's crazy. Fuck me, bro. I started honking and shit. I was trying to get out the beat, dude. Bro. I don't even care about that, bro. That just scared the fuck out of me. I don't want to do that again, bro. The jump scare is not fun. Bro, I was just hiding in the house, bro. Okay, we're gonna play a game of this and probably call it there, maybe. But excuse me. And shit. Right, you gotta watch me play this shit. Quick play. I would play ranked, bro, but that shit just fucking, that shit takes forever just to load into one single game, or even the rounds itself is not it. I don't know, I fucking forgot how to play this, man. Oh. It's okay.
Be ready to engage Op 4.
Honestly, bro, I don't even know. That sucked.
10 seconds.
Sorry, bad spot.
5 seconds.
fuck it. I'm not a professional at this game.
Located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Activating
I
camera.
don't even know where to play.
Activating camera.
God fucking. I don't even know this map. I do, but. Oh. What the? Bro, it tricked me. He tricked me. That can be good sometimes.
Op 4, last operator standing. Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Who was I playing? Oh my jeez. I don't know who it's been so long. I don't even know where to put cameras at. I don't even. After this round, I gotta put my pizza.
Be ready to eliminate hostiles.
Like I'm running around like I know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing. Where would they come in at? It's already a camera. Okay, let's
Camera feed up and running.
bitch. Finger, oh, bro. It's embarrassing. Where'd he go?
Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds to insertion.
Camera right there.
Bomb located by Op 4.
I got a camera right there. Where's the other point? That's so hard. Is that us? Oh, look at me. Don't let me turn my hacks on. Bitch. Told you. Told you. Oh, God. What the fuck? What is he doing, bro? Where's Rose shot from?
Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Ah. I'm playing quick play. Hey Siri, set a timer for 18 minutes.
18 minutes starting now.
What'd you say?
Friendly drone deployed. Op 4 is reinforcing its location.
For pizza. Where's my camera, bro?
Seconds to insertion. 5 seconds to insertion. Proceed to bomb's location and defuse it.
It's time to work.
Really, bro?
No, that camera.
Reloaded!
Professional. Shields, give me shields. No worries.
Still enjoying it?
Yeah, just I can't. Rank takes too long just to play.
Dude, rank is not worth solo queuing in that game.
I think everybody's down. How do I get downstairs?
Over there. There's up that way.
Like someone's been up here though, for sure. Whoa, bitch. Maybe you shouldn't fall down next time.
Fell down.
Breach. He had fucking teeth. That's ugly, bro. Ew, bro, was really crouching in the corner.
Special charge. Look out. It's live.
Run! Jackhammer? Corner. He's about to play it, watch. Go get him, Twitch.
Why
You have dropped the diffuser.
Pistols, bro?
One friendly
This is
operator
casual.
remaining.
I don't know. I don't know.
They fuck with Ray.
I'm
Bro,
gonna
put the
it's
pistol
too
up,
good.
bro. the worst pistols in the game, too. That's why, because she's just no fucking shotgun. She's gonna get blasted. So
Hard flank. Hard flank. She got you.
Go on there. Twitch.
15 seconds.
Right there.
10 seconds.
Wait, reload. What's this thing?
4 last operator standing. 5 seconds left.
He's in the corner, bro. Plant it. There's already. Look at him. He's in. Oh my god. That's who I died to. That's literally who I died to. It's fucking crazy. Oh, I'm trying to find a character I could just play as. Used to be her. I used to play her a lot. It says casual, so it's like.
Friendly drone deployed. Op 4 is reinforcing its location.
Don't know how I do it, man. Yeah, everybody else is still trying to figure out how to try to get this.
Insertion in 10 seconds. Insertion in 5 seconds. You've located a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Swapping!
Did you see that, John? Bro's literally on his camera right there and shit.
The diffuser has been secured.
Cover me. My device is planted.
Op 4 last stop standing.
Breaching!
The diffuser is no longer in your possession.
Bitch!
Op 4
Ah!
eliminated. Friendly mission successful.
So I do it. So I got 9 minutes. Should I play Bummer John or just call it there? actually.
It claims it repeatedly pointed out that the drug's abuse potential is similar to those of other strong
Finish this
opioids.
video.
Still, Grunitol apparently managed to present its new product as a good opioid, or at least as a better one.
So we have on the one hand the strong opioid, the dangerous drug, oxycodone, that is the reason why a lot of people got addicted from opioids in the United States. And on the other hand, we have tapentadol, a drug that actually works quite similar to oxycodone, but is considered a weaker opioid, or at least this is what is in a lot of people's minds. It's a more clean drug, it's less addictive, but this, what we found out in the end, is not true. Experts we spoke with said it's actually not the scientific research we conducted that is supporting this argument that this drug is less addictive than this drug.
Grunitol tells us their materials are based exclusively on data from peer-reviewed medical journals, and that whenever that data allowed for comparison to other products, the findings were cited accordingly. But in many countries, Grunitol's tapentadol has already overtaken generic versions of oxycodone. In Mexico, prescriptions for oxycodone dropped sharply after 2020, while those for tapentadol have increased massively. According to the data collected by the examination, Peru has been spending more and more public money on tapentadol since 2019, significantly more than it did on oxycodone during the entire previous decade. These developments don't automatically mean abuse is rising too. They could even mean that more patients are finally getting access to much-needed pain medication. So far, there's no evidence of widespread, unregulated opioid prescription in Latin America. But what's happened in the United States shows just how quickly markets can shift. Aggressive marketing, downplayed risks, and rising prescription numbers can trigger developments that are extremely difficult to contain down the stretch. Grunitol argues that strict regulation of their opioids, specifically in Germany, could send a negative signal to other countries, especially to regions already struggling with limited access to opioid painkillers. So let's look at these regions. In some parts of India, reports of tapentadol abuse have been piling up for years. These drugs aren't typically produced by Grunitol. They're generic versions from local manufacturers. They're often illegally combined with muscle relaxants. During the 2010s, tapentadol appears to have been available in India without the need for a prescription. It wasn't until 2021 that India's health ministry began responding to growing abuse of the drug. But the most devastating consequences can be seen in Africa. Parts of the continent have been dealing with a severe opioid crisis for years now.
Tramadol is highly abused in many African countries, especially in Western Africa.
This plant is commonly known as the African peach. In Cameroon, it's used to treat ailments like pain, malaria, and fever. A team of Cameroonian and French researchers wants to find out what exactly gives this plant its supposedly analgesic properties. They end up finding an active ingredient in the root bark. When they analyze it, they can't believe their eyes. In medicine, this exact structure is known as tramadol. The compound they just found in the plant is chemically identical to the opioid Grunitol developed in a lab decades ago. Up until now, tramadol has been considered a fully synthetic, man-made drug. Can this really be true? To make sure, the researchers examined plants from 3 different places in Cameroon, collected during different seasons. They find tramadol in every single sample. By now, they've ruled out accidental contamination. They're sure the substance must be of natural origin. Their discovery makes headlines around the world. Now they want to understand how exactly the plant is able to biologically synthesize tramadol, but they'll never get the chance. A year later, this study is published. 4 other researchers debunked the allegedly groundbreaking find. The tramadol found in the African peach clearly doesn't have a natural origin. It's man-made. The team also finds the synthetic opioid in other plants, in soil samples, and inside well water. Some of the water samples reveal alarmingly high concentrations. Tramadol has made its way into the groundwater. Cameroon isn't the only African country affected. Many people in Togo, Nigeria, Ghana, and Egypt have also become dependent on tramadol. According to the United Nations, non-medical use of tramadol has been a growing problem on the continent since at least 2013. Some African countries are facing full-blown opioid crises. Zico works as a moto taxi driver in Lomé, the capital of Togo.
Quand il y a embouteillage, c'est nous. On faufile dans les voitures et vite, on va te déposer. Je travaille 12 heures de temps. Ce que je commence à 6 heures du matin, ça fatigue trop.
He describes his experience in this fantastic documentary. He came to the city to make money. He and his colleagues live on the street, and they're addicted to tramadol.
Le tous vont prendre ça. Si tu as pris ta dose, ça va te faire du bien, tu vas bien travailler. Mais si tu as abusé, c'est le truc même qui va te contrôler. Et ça va te créer des problèmes.
Zico uses tramadol to get through his 12-hour shifts and the rest of the day. He takes about 2 pills a day. But the tramadol he consumes doesn't come from Grunitol. The company tells us it doesn't
Pills are
distribute
bad,
tramadol
bro.
in West Africa. Instead, the market is flooded with cheap generic versions illegally trafficked from China and India. And counterfeits, which often contain higher or lower doses than their packages suggest. Some contain no tramadol at all. Zico doesn't need an expensive printer to get his pills. Tramadol is everywhere. Users can buy it in pharmacies, at roadside stalls, or on the black market. As the original developer of tramadol, Grunitol may be morally responsible for what's happening in these African countries, but only indirectly. At the same time, the company has obviously been lobbying against stricter regulation, especially in Germany. Remember its claim that the regulation would send a fatal signal to the rest of the world. That doesn't sound coherent to us.
But this is the argument that also the company was spreading. So in my opinion, and what experts told us, this has no direct connection. You care about the people in Germany, and you have to take care that people don't get addicted. In African countries, there's other regulations, and there's other possibility to have a safe environment. But this is what they say and what they put in the mind of people.
Maybe Grunitol was worried that regulating the product more strictly in its original market could send an entirely different signal, namely, that the drug is more harmful than the company's been marketing it as for decades.
I think with having this in mind, it's hard to take all of the responsibility away from the company because, it happened that people thought this is less addictive, but in the end, it's the same opioid as other opioids, and all opioids have the potential to get people dependent.
Grunitol doesn't deny that opioid painkillers like tramadol can be misused and cause addiction. Here's what it does say. It doesn't market tramadol as a drug with low risk of abuse or dependence. Its position on the product's abuse potential was based on scientific data that was always shared with regulators. Tramadol should only ever be used under strict medical supervision and following careful risk-benefit assessments. Regulating its legal medical use ultimately fell within the purview of national governments. The company supports stricter measures if the situation within a certain country requires them. But in several West African countries, tramadol was only regulated more strictly after the drug had already been wreaking havoc for years. Pharma is a trillion-dollar industry. The global pharmaceutical market has been growing for the last 2 decades and is now worth almost $1.7 trillion. That's partly because societies around the world are getting older. To sell their products, some companies still rely on proven methods. But highly addictive drugs like opioids should deliver on their promises from the very beginning. From addiction and social decay to lethal overdoses, many substances that can save lives also have the potential to destroy them. Pharmaceutical companies are at least partly responsible for how openly, honestly, and adequately societies handle the risks tied to their drugs. But where does their responsibility end? With patients who believe they won't become addicted to a certain opioid? With countries where the active ingredient they developed is spiraling out of control? Or with young people who experiment with drugs and suddenly find themselves heavily addicted because they can easily get the pills and underestimate the risks?
That's
Grunitol tells
crazy,
us
bro.
it's committed to the responsible use of opioid painkillers. Their targeted effects remain essential for patients suffering from severe pain, like cancer patients and people recovering from major surgery or serious injury. The company says that opioids are the last option available to many people's doctors. At the same time, it says it no longer plans to research and develop new opioid drugs. In 2024, sales of Polexia and Tramol accounted for a low double-digit percentage of Grunitol's total revenue. And the company expects that share to continue shrinking in the years ahead. Strong medications have always been abused, from morphine and heroin all the way to fentanyl. That's precisely why governments and regulatory agencies carry so much responsibility. They need to recognize dangerous developments early on, respond quickly, and regulate accordingly. Decisions about medications must remain independent. They should always serve the interests of patients, not the interests of pharmaceutical corporations.
Of course, we were always thinking, has this company learned from its dark past? And I would say, on the one hand, yes, they definitely tried to change something. And they also had a working group that was actually reviewing documents if they are still in line with the latest research.
Alright, bro, I think that's it for tonight. Getting tired. Love for watching, appreciate you. I am good enough.